Okay, for the past several weeks prior to getting out for spring break, we had been doing a lot of work with the nonfiction genre, keeping in mind that nonfiction means not fake. So that's going to be text that we read or write that is giving information, giving a procedure, telling how to do something, explaining something. Okay. You will remember, as we've talked about this before, that when we take tests over nonfiction, it's generally a little bit harder because it's based on the facts that we've read about and we have to recall those facts. Okay, so our class book study for this week is called Goods and Services, and it's written by Janine Adil. You will be taking an AR test over this, so I just need you to listen carefully as we read through this. When you get to that point where you're ready to take a test, you can re-listen to this as many times as you need to. Start it, stop it, whatever you need to do there to help you get through that test. Again, reminder, you can test at any time between 7:55 and 3:25 Monday through Friday. Okay? As I read this book, I want you to think about the Texas Studies Weekly that we did, and I want you to see if you hear any of the same goods and services discussed in this book that were discussed in our newspaper. Okay. The other thing I want you to think about is the writing prompt that you have for this week that actually goes along with this book, where you are going to write about what you want to be when you grow up, and you're going to explain to me why. Okay. Some things to think about as we read through Goods and Services. Okay, you will see that this particular nonfiction text has a table of contents. So it's going to direct you to various chapters within the book. You can see that the first chapter is Things People Buy. Okay, so that's what we'll be hearing about in the first chapter of the book. So I really want you to look and pay careful attention as you analyze the text when we read through it for some of those different text clues or text features that are there to help you with understanding. Okay, so chapter 1, you can see the big bold title, Things People Buy. And then you can also see a little box down here that has a fun fact in it. And I'll read that for you as well. Okay? Things people buy. People buy things they need and want. They buy goods and services. Goods are real things that people can touch and use. A service is work done for other people. An eye doctor does a service as he checks your eyes. The glasses he sells are goods. Fun fact, in 2004, the U.S. Department of Labor counted over 10 million people making goods in the U.S. factories. Okay? So, this guy that's checking this little boy's eyes, he provides a service and he provides a good. Now, I'm going to do a close-up on this so you can see the text and pause it, read through it, whatever you need to do there. The next chapter is called Goods and Services. Goods can be large, like a house or a car. Goods can also be small. Notebooks, a bunch of bananas, and soap are some small goods. Men, women, boys, and girls can all do services. A dentist's work is a service. Washing cars, mowing lawns, and cutting hair are other services. So again, you can see when we move to the next chapter in bold print, you can see the title. That helps you to know that you have moved on to the next chapter. Again, I'm going to come up close with that. I'm not going to hold for too long because you're welcome to pause the text and read through that as you need to. Next chapter, Government Services. Some goods and services come from the government. The government collects money called, yes, taxes. That's correct. Taxes pay for goods and services everyone uses. Taxes pay for firefighters and police officers. Parks, libraries, and schools are also paid for with taxes. Fun fact, in 1921, West Virginia became the first state to collect taxes on goods people bought in stores. Okay. There you can see police officer partnering up with this boy here. I'm going to zoom in on the text. Next chapter, producers. Goods and services are sold by producers. Farmers sell the vegetables they grow. Mechanics are producers when they sell the service of fixing cars. Kids can also be producers. Tim sells a service when he delivers newspapers. He can also sell the cookies he baked. Now, earlier I talked to you guys about being second graders and really being more a consumer than a producer. Okay, as you can see, these kiddos are a little older. So when you get a little older, you can do various things like that. But as I said before, as a second grader, you're more than likely just a consumer right now. Okay, zoom in on the producers page. Next chapter, consumers. Anyone who buys and uses goods and services is a consumer. Consumers choose what goods and services they buy. Jenna is a consumer. She uses her money to buy a new bike. Fun fact, U.S. teens spend over $160 billion of their own money each year. And that's because a lot of teenagers do have jobs. And that figure of what's spent by teenagers proves that a lot of them have jobs and a lot of them spend a whole lot of money. Probably like my teenagers on things like Fortnite that are useless. Anyways, today with COVID-19, the coronavirus, we've had a lot of consumers out there choosing to buy. Does anybody know what they're buying that you cannot find on the shelves? Think about that for a second. Yes, indeed, toilet paper. We are often unable to find toilet paper right now anywhere. Every time you go in the store, the shelves are cleared of toilet paper. Okay, next chapter, earning income. Producers earn money or income. As a producer, Mary sells candy in her shop to earn money. Then she uses her income to buy goods and services from others. Mary is a consumer when she buys meat from the market. Okay, so here you can see a picture of Mary. She's gone to the market to use the money that she earned from selling candy in her shop to buy meat that she needs. Zoom in on the text. Joe is a producer. Joe sells clothes and toys he doesn't use anymore. By selling these goods, Joe is a producer. He earns income that he can spend on other goods and services. There you can see he's kind of having a little garage sale type deal. Joe is also a consumer. As a consumer, Joe makes choices about his income. He saves part of his money for camp next summer. He buys some school supplies he needs. Then he has money left to buy a book he wants. What goods and services do you buy? Now, some of you may do chores at home, and you might earn money. And we talked about this the other day. Some of you like to spend that money as soon as you get it. Others of you like to save it up so you can buy maybe something bigger. So the discussion question is, what are some things that you choose to buy with your money as a consumer? Amazing but true. Taxes have been around for about 5,000 years. In ancient Egypt, people paid many taxes. The king collected them at least once a year. Ancient Egyptian art shows workers counting and recording the taxes. And there you can see some hieroglyphics there that show the ancient Egyptians and how they collected. So taxes have been around for a really long time. Okay, this last page is just a hands-on little activity that you can do at home if you want about how money comes in and out of the house. Again, you can pause the video if you want to read through that and check that out. Okay, this book also has a glossary in the back. It's kind of like a dictionary. Gives you different words and definitions of several of the words that were in this nonfiction text that we read today. Okay, and this last page here gives you some resources of just some other things that you can read to learn more about producers and consumers and goods and services. The last page is an index page. It's kind of like in our little resource booklets that we use in writing and with our phonics. If you're looking for specific things, this tells you exactly what pages within this nonfiction text you can find that information on. Okay, so that's the class read aloud for the week, goods and services. Let me know if you have any questions about that.